All right, Shalom Israel. Before I start, just want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, to the Akims and the Iwas and Byways, those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, and to the brothers and sisters in the truth. Now, this video that I want to do, I saw a guy go over this issue, and another elder played the video that I saw. So I just wanted to go through it myself. I'll show you the crafty counsel that is being kept up. And if you're not aware, a lot of our people just like to be asleep, stay asleep. But I just wanted to bring this out to show you the crafty counsel that's actually been pulled over a lot of people's eyes. Now, this is to do with an act or bill called the HR 748. Yeah, this was the bill that President Trump signed on the 27th of March, 27th of the 3rd this year. And this video is called Coronavirus. President Trump signs 2 trillion coronavirus relief bill. So this is the relief bill that Trump signed. And I don't think I shared my screen there. Stupid me. Let me come back again. So I'll do this again. It says coronavirus. President Donald Trump signs 2 trillion coronavirus relief bill. And as I said, this was done the 27th of March, 27th of the 3rd this year. And this is to do with a bill titled HR 748. Now, what you're going to realize is that a lot of this is crafty counsel that's being kept up. I just want to go through this quickly and just try show the crafty counsel that they're keeping. So, let me do this like it's full screen.
Well, thank you all very much. It's a very important day. I'll sign the single biggest economic relief package in American history, and I must say, or any other package, by the way. It's twice as large as any relief ever signed. It's 2.2 billion, but it actually goes up to 6.2 potentially trillion dollars. So you're talking about a $6.2 trillion bill, nothing like that. And this will deliver urgently needed relief to our nation's families, workers, and businesses. And that's what this is all about. And it got a 96 to nothing. And I don't know, what was the number in Congress? Was fantastic. Just as close. That's pretty amazing. That's about the same thing, right, Kevin? Yes. So that's fantastic. But I want to thank Republicans and Democrats for coming together, setting aside their differences and putting America first. This legislation provides for direct payments to individuals and unprecedented support for small businesses. We're going to keep our small businesses strong and our big businesses strong. And that's keeping our country strong and our jobs strong. This historic bill includes the following: $300 billion in direct cash payments will be available to every American citizen earning less than $99,000 per year. $3,400 for a typical family of four. So family of four, $3,400. And then $350 billion in job retention loans for small businesses, with loan forgiveness available for businesses that continue paying their work.
I'm just going to stop that there. You get at the end of the day, he goes on to sign in this bill. Let me see if I can find that. Trump signs 2 trillion relief bill. So now, like I said, this bill is let me get the name of it. It's the HR 748 CARES Act, and that stands for Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, Slovakia. So this bill was signed on 27th of March, and this is meant to be to deal with the coronavirus. So you'll expect this bill to come out after there is such a virus. Now let's read this. Says the CARES Act. The Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, HR 748, also known as the CARES Act, is a law intended to address the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. So this is a law to address the COVID-19 situation that we're going through. And obviously, you wouldn't put a law in to address a coronavirus situation before there is such a situation. Says it was introduced in the United States Congress as HR 748, and this was its original name, Middle Class Health Benefits Tax Repeal Slovakia Act of 2009. So that's what the act was called originally. Yeah, this HR 748 by Joe Courtney on January 24th, 2019. So this act, which is now called the CARES Act, was originally put in place 24th of January 2019, so like a good year before where the coronavirus situation. No, which is a bit strange. You'd assume that a coronavirus bill or bill to address the coronavirus would have come into force or would have been thought of before there was such a incident in place. But it says this bill, because its original name, as I stated, was called the Middle Class Health Benefits Repeal Act. Yeah, but it's the same HR 748. Says, although the Senate changed the content of the bill and the bill was amended and retitled before it was passed. So this bill was out in January 2019, and all they've done is, as it says there, they have changed the content. Yes, part of the content that they've changed is the amount that's allotted. And the bill was amended and retitled. Now, it says here the original bill proposal included 500 billion in direct payments to Americans, 208 billion in loans to major industry, and 300 billion in small business as administration loans. As a result of bipartisan negotiations, the bill grew to 2 trillion in the version unanimously passed by the Senate on March the 25th, 2020. The next day it was passed in the House via voice vote and signed into law by President Trump on the 27th of March. And that's this video here. So part of the amendment, like I said, was the increase of the amount of money allotted to the bill. Yeah, the same bill, Middle Class Health Benefits Tax Repeal Act of 2019. Yeah. So some of the content that was changed was the amount of money allocated to the bill. And then it says the bill was amended and retitled. So it changed from this, and now it's called the CARES Act. It says unprecedented in size and scope, the legislation was the largest ever economic stimulus package in US history, amounting to 10% of total US gross domestic product. The bill was much larger, than the 831 billion stimulus act passed in 2009 as part of the response to the Great Recession. The Congressional Budget Office estimated it would add 1.8 trillion to the deficits over the 2020 to 2030 period, with nearly all the impact in 2020 and 2021. The bill is referred to by lawmakers as Phase 3 of Congress's coronavirus response. The first phase was an 8.3 billion bill spurring coronavirus vaccine research and development. So, as we know, a lot of these things is down to money because a lot of companies are getting money from this bill. And everything seems to boil down to money at the end of the day when it comes to ESOR. It says the first phase was an 8.3 billion bill spurring coronavirus vaccine research and development. And these vaccine companies, you know, they're basically free from prosecution if anything goes wrong. And they make a lot of money out of these vaccines. It says the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response Supplemental Appropriations Act 2020. What's this? It is an act of Congress enacted on March the 6th, 2020. The legislation provided emergency supplemental appropriation of to combat the spread of so that's money being given to these vaccine companies. It says which was signed into law on March the 6th. The second phase was an approximately 104 billion package, largely focused on paid sick leave and unemployment benefits for workers and families, which had been enacted on March the 18th. So, like we said, this bill, HR 748, which is the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act, was signed on the 27th of the 3rd, 2020. And this is the bill here. It says it was introduced the 24th of the 1st, 24th of January 2019. So you'd expect, like I said, a bill to combat coronavirus would have been introduced once there was such a problem in place. But this bill was introduced 24th of January last year, and all they've done is up the amount of money allocated to the bill from billions to trillions and change the name of the bill. And this here shows you, this is a quick run through of the process it went through. So it says 24th of the 1st, 2019, introduced in the House. That's the HR 748. It was introduced. Then they addressed it again the 17th of July, 17th of the 7th, 2019. It says assigned to the consensus calendar number 2. Then after that, it was addressed on the 18th. It was read for the first time by the Senate, the 18th of the 7th, 2019. Then you got the 22nd of the 7th, 2019. It was read the second time, placed on Senate legislative calendar under general orders, calendar number 157. And then after that, it was checked again on the 20th of now coronavirus is in. So in March the 20th, it says motion to proceed to consideration of measures made in Senate, which would have been this bill previously. Remember, started on the 24th of the 1st. Then they addressed it again a day later. Motion to proceed again, considered. Then after that, it was on the 23rd of March. Motion to proceed, more motions to proceed. 23rd, then the 24th, motion to proceed once again. Let me see what this is quickly, Slake as well. What this motion is. This is all part of that bill. Oh yeah, now they've got coronavirus in it, in the name, in the title. So let me quickly come back down here. Before this year, on 17th of the 7th says on motion to suspend the rules and pass the bill as amended, agreed by the. Let me check out one of these motions, see what this is saying. Remember, this is the same HR 748 bill we're addressing here. See, here, it's still got the old name of the Middle Class Health Benefits Tax Repeal Act. So now we're coming to the new year, into 2020, and this is the date, the 27th. This is when President Donald Trump decided to sign the bill. Says debate pursuant of the provisions. The House proceeded with 3 hours of debate on the motion that the House concur in the Senate amendment to. So now the name of the bill is changed. It's no longer what's it called? Middle Class Health Benefits Tax Repeal. Now it's going to be called the Coronavirus Aid and Relief. What's it not? Yeah, Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act. So yeah, this is the Crafty Council, the Coronavirus Aid Relief Economic Bill, HR 748, which you would have assumed would have been put in place once there was such an issue, was already out basically a year before the coronavirus came about. And all they did, increase the amount of money allocated to it and change the name of the bill. So this is Job 15:35. It says, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. This is what we've been seeing, They'll have you believe that, yeah, we brought this bill in, to address the coronavirus. But this bill was already in place a year before. Yeah, this is all the crafty council that's been taking place under people's noses. Unless you actually, a lot of our people are asleep. So even though this information is come out, it will go over a lot of people's head that won't really care. But this is just to try and awake those, or bring some more light, I should say, to those who are awake. Just give you more information. Knowledge is nothing wrong with knowledge at the end of the day. We know that Esau is crafty. A lot of the things he does is crafty. And this is just another one of those crafty schemes. It says, this is Psalms 94:20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? And this is a mischief which was framed by law. Because like I said, this act first it was introduced. Let me get it here actually. It was introduced on the 1st. It was introduced on the 1st of January. Yeah, 1st of January 2019. And now they renamed it in 2020. And voila, we now have a coronavirus bill. Remember that name, HR 748. Yeah, that's the crafty council that they've been doing. So hopefully you got a little bit of enlightenment from that. Hopefully someone's edified. With that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.